All right, welcome everyone. We are live. Two Flippin' Dudes Thursday night. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Jason. If you are new to this show tonight, this is your first time joining, and I'm with my co-host Chris. Chris, how's it going?
What's up, Jason? Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you, and we are excited. This is our 5th episode. I feel like with each episode, it just gets better and better. We talk about all things reselling, and we have some fun while we do it. So, Chris, tell me about your week. What's been going on this week? How's sales been?
Dude, killer week. Sales is probably not so positive part of this week, but I really try to judge myself based on the hustle, right? The sales will come as long as I find good items, take good photos, have good descriptions, and then repeat and post every day, right? So I've definitely been focusing on my hustle this week and trying to ignore the results, the sales, which hasn't been good. But you know what? If you pay attention to sales in the beginning of January and you let the sales kind of be the judger of you and your hustle and your business, you're probably going to be disappointed or maybe depressed. But I've been focusing on the hustle. Had a great week, had a lot of great stuff. Yesterday was killer, and today I was just taking photos, measuring, getting stuff up on eBay.
Yeah,
so feeling
that's
good.
Awesome. And speaking of that, I was looking at your eBay store. I saw you're about 580 listings currently.
Yeah, I think I just hit the 580 mark today. That was my goal, push it up to 580. I always have myself like these big listing goals and then like micro listing goals for the week and for the day, just to, hold myself accountable and keep moving.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Congrats to you. And for those joining in, I see some familiar folks. Yeah, that's sometimes sales are going to be slow. You just keep trotting along, like Chris is saying, and it will eventually pay off. So, especially in January, it's statistically slow. It's been a weird week for me. I'd say I'm off my rhythm because I normally thrift on Mondays, and I thrifted this past weekend on Saturday, and then yesterday again I went up to a store in the afternoon after I listed. So kind of changing it up, getting out of the rhythm, and having some fun this week.
So what's up? Is that going to be a new rhythm? Are you moving away from that Monday, Wednesday, or you got to do weekends?
I was going to go on Monday, and sometimes I just don't feel it. And I did have some stuff from the weekend, so it's like, I'll just stay home. I don't think it'll be a new thing. I may try and do some like more local, like quicker around my house runs in the afternoon if I can. But yeah, we'll see. Right now, I think I'll stick to Mondays.
Right on, right on.
But one thing I may talk about later if we have time, but I'll just kind of hint at it. I've been relisting some stuff this week, and I've started to notice some old stuff selling. 5 or 6 items that I've relisted have sold, and I don't want to go into all that right now, but if we do have time, I'll kind of mention what I'm doing to help drive some traffic to some of those older items. But that's been huge for me because, nothing like having a lot of inventory that just sits that's a year or two old, and you're just staring at it going, why aren't you moving?
Oh, I know a thing or two about that for sure. Some old inventory. It's like, get out of here, will you?
Yeah, well, I guess let's go ahead and get started. Chris, do you want to tell us about the show?
Yeah, first, welcome to Two Flippin' Dudes. This is a weekly show every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's just two flippin' dudes, two full-time resellers, Jason and I. It's an opportunity for Jason and I to catch up about what's been going on with our respective businesses. It's an opportunity for us to answer your questions and hopefully support the growth of your businesses. We always devote time to play a flippin' game, and that's how we'll conclude the show. We always conclude the show. Jason won the flippin' game last week. He is 1-0 in 2021. He has turned over a new leaf. Overall, it is a 3-1 lead for me over Jason. I'm excited about this week's game, and I'm bringing some good sales and some good items to the game today. So excited about that. Thanks everyone for joining us. Get those questions going in the chat. We love to hear from you, where you're at, what you're flipping, what you're selling, and what questions you have.
Yeah, I agree. And I've got that on the bottom there. If you're new to our show tonight, leave a question in the comments. I want to just point out we've got a lot of old faces in the live tonight with us. Ginger, Trisha, Juan, Denise, and Collectabill are in the chat with us. And I see James is back from last week. So welcome, guys.
How cool is it? Like, thanks so much for for just, there's a million things you could be spending your Thursday evening doing. It's I'm tickled that you're hanging out with us as we just talk about what we love doing, which is reselling and flipping.
Yeah, that's right. And Collectibill says, Chris, I love your hat. Where did you get that?
Thanks for the compliment, Bill. This is my new Thrifter Sifter hat from Matt Grohl, who is a reseller, and he's big on TikTok. So he's Thrifter Sifter on TikTok, reseller. He has a great eye for stuff. So he got some new merch this week, and I had to jump right on it and order me a Thrifter Sifter hat to show him my love. And what a cool hat. It's super comfy.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for a trucker hat. You know what I mean? And I love this thing. I'm psyched.
Yeah, maybe that can be a thing. Maybe we can do trucker hats, different themed trucker hats. I too am a sucker for trucker hats. A sucker for trucker hats.
Sucker for trucker.
That's right. Well, we're already getting some questions in, so we'll save those for a little later in the show. But if you're new, thanks for jumping in. This is the part of the show where we kind of go over a few things that we picked up this week that we're excited about. So Chris, while you're getting some things together, I'll go over a couple that I've got right here just to kick us off. And we've been doing a lot of hard goods, and most of you know that we're clothing sellers primarily. And I do want to show you a clothing item that I don't think I've touched on quite a bit either on TikTok or in these shows. But see if you can see that right there. Harley Davidson is the logo there. And the cool thing about this, it has, I'll just open it up here. It's got the, where is it? Right there, the Harley Davidson on the pocket, embroidered, which is a great addition to the shirt. And then on the back, it's got a nice big skull there in the back.
Whoa, that's cool.
It is really cool. I love finding that skull on Harley Davidson stuff. This shirt is a large, so I wish it were like a 2XL, especially with that Harley stuff. You want to find the oversized sizes, but a large will still sell. And I hope to get about $30 for that shirt with shipping.
Dang, that's a nice one. How much you pay for that thing?
So I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. I paid up for that. That's something that was on the rack. It was $10, and I put it on the rack. I got it back. I put it back, and I was like, you know what? It's Harley Davidson. If it were a medium, I wouldn't have picked it up. But I paid $10, and I don't normally do that. But I just haven't found a Harley in a while, and I was really feeling it, so I grabbed it. And I may get more than 30. We'll see. I'd say 30 to 40 is kind of the range on that, but 30 on the low side.
Right on. I think I'd probably pick that up just because of the embroideries. It's unique, and large isn't a bad size either. So
yeah.
Worst case scenario, you got yourself a badass Harley shirt. I mean, that's almost your size, right? You're between medium and large.
Yeah, I could wear that. I could rock it. I don't know if I fit the persona for the Harley image, but I guess fake it until you make it.
Yeah, man.
I'll show you guys one more item, and then Chris will send it off to you. But speaking of Thrifter Sifter, he just recently posted a Starbucks video, and that got me looking in the mug section, see if I could find a Starbucks mug. And lo and behold, I did. And check this out.
Yes.
This is like a ceramic, which is a lot better than finding like the plastic, which are not worth as much. But it's got really cool, like speckled design there with a lot of color and like metallic finish. It's got the lid as well. And so I paid $3.33 for this. I hope to flip this guy for about that $30 to $40 range as well. Not very many of these with this exact like design and color and graphic on it. So yeah, I'm excited about these finds right here.
Nice finds, man. How much was the Bucks mug?
The mug was $3.33.
Dang, that's gonna be nice.
Oh yeah, I haven't found one like that before.
All right, I got some items for you too, and these are going to be items that you recognize. This first one is new to me, though. Certainly, the brand is not new. Polo
ERL right there.
Yeah, but what's new about it for me is this rugby. I never find these rugby shirts.
That is money.
And it's kind of got the little patch thing going on.
I know how much you'll get for that, but did you look up comps on that, or did you just know it's a good deal?
I haven't comped it. I just rough guess. I was thinking maybe 35, 40 plus shipping.
So I'll be honest, I've sold 2 or 3 of those Ralph Laurens just like that, similar style. 40, I'd say 40 on the low end. I think I've gotten 48 to 50 on one of those guys. So, you could probably price that just at 50, a little over, and take offers in that $40 range.
Dang, that's good to know. I was not expecting that. And it's not vintage, right? To be clear, that's a modern polo tag. So
Yeah, but that look is a classic look. I mean, that if I could find those shirts all day, that is a fast flip, easy money.
and it's it's heavy, warm, and the thing, it's in excellent condition too. And what's great is this collar. These anything it's a white collar, these things can get messed up pretty quickly. I mean, it's like crispy white. I'm psyched about this one. So I always look for them. I never find these things.
Yeah, that's a good one. And LL Bean's another good brand that has those rugby shirts that sell in the $40 range.
Right on. That is my first rugby, at least the first that I remember ever picking up.
Dude,
my next item is a revisit to a couple weeks ago. I had mentioned that I hadn't found any Sims since I had been in Florida when I moved here in July. I used to find it in Colorado pretty regularly, but here we go. I got me a Sims. This is just a cotton long sleeve button down. It is a size large, but sharp looking shirt there. It's got the, you want to look out for, that's the logo.
Yeah.
That's the logo right there. You know all about this, but I'm showing the viewers this, and that's the tag, the Sims brand.
Another great find right there. Yeah.
It's harder than it looks to do this stuff. Sims, excited about that one. Haven't got it listed yet, but it's photoed and measured. It'll go up tomorrow.
Nice. Good finds.
Yeah.
Flip it back. I got one for you. This is a big monster find. This was what I found yesterday. It was half price, so I paid $3 for it total. Let's see if you can see this right here.
Oh, nice.
So this is like a Wilson women's BLX, which I'm not a tennis racket guy or tennis guy in general, but I looked this up and it looks like it holds 6 different rackets. It's got multiple pockets for like accessories and things. And this thing is huge. I mean, you guys can see the size of it. My only concern is shipping. I may have to fold that in half just to get it in a box that's not so big, but I think comps around that. There wasn't like that same one, the pink and black, but for a similar bag, I think $50 on a used bag like that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So that's different. Like I see those just single tennis racket bags all the time, and I don't even look twice at them. And am I doing the right thing there? Just passing on the single ones, but look for those.
Honestly, that's the first time I've picked up, and I don't know that I would get the single bags unless it's like a newer style. This one had 2 main compartments, put 3 rackets in each. So maybe something to look at. Look at comps next time you see them. I just don't have enough experience. Maybe someone in the chat can let us know if they've ever sold one of those tennis racket bags. If like the single ones sell, please comment and let us know.
Yeah, maybe John McEnroe's in the chat. He can let us know what's up, or Andre Agassi.
You said John McEnroe, and I was trying to think of what his signature thing that he yelled. Was it like, "Are you serious?
You can't be serious."
Yeah, that's it. You can't be serious. Do you have eyes?
I'll have to work that into like a YouTube or a TikTok video coming up. Like sneak that in.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to show us?
For the TikTok viewers, they've already seen this, but I don't like to double dip too often, but this thing's cool. I had to show it. So check this out. It's a pogo stick. The brand is Thruster. I don't know if you could see that kind of vertical on there. It's actually in really good condition, and I'm psyched about this thing. Just, sometimes, and Jason, you and I talked about this recently, like sometimes, it's the pressure of getting in the thrift store and like, I need to find enough stuff to list enough stuff this week and keep the business going. But it's nice to just kind of like get back into like, why we do this. It's fun to find cool stuff at the thrift store. And I would have rode this around the thrift store, like jumped up and down on it, but it's a kid's one. It's like way too small for me. It's specifically for kids. And I think I exceed the weight limit that's listed on it of 70 to 120 pounds by a good bit. So it's probably not a good idea. But anyway, it was a cool find. I think, I don't know what I said the comps were. I haven't listed it yet. I have a feeling that probably $25 plus shipping is reasonable. I actually might throw it up on Facebook Marketplace just to see if there's a local family that wants to pick it up for cheap, so I don't have to mess with shipping. But we'll see. Facebook Marketplace local always has a way of infuriating me with the constant is that item available? And then like all the questions and the back
Yeah.
and forth, and then people ghosting you and stuff. But well, for this thing, maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Well, let's take some questions, and then I've got another item if we have some time. But there have been a lot of great questions in the chat so far. Landshark, I want to say hello. You shouted out earlier. Someone says, let's see.
Jason, I don't know. We might have lost you. I think I lost your audio, and it looks like I lost your video now. But that's okay. We'll persevere. We'll press on.
Can you see me or hear me?
Now I see you and I hear you again. That's great. I was scared for a minute there, honestly.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm having issues on my end, but I think I'm back. So Kelson asked this, what's the best software to track your listed and sold items? I don't know if I haven't really used any software per se. Have you, Chris?
I use a custom built spreadsheet, much like you use your own custom built spreadsheet. And I also use GoDaddy, the online GoDaddy software account, like bookkeeping software. That's the word. And that's what actually helps me report taxes at the end of the year. And gosh, it's January, which I've been sort of dreading that process of going through and doing. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's just something. It's not as fun as going to a thrift store. But that's what I use, GoDaddy, and there's an annual subscription I pay for it. Don't ask me how much it is. I forget, but it's totally worth it. And
$10, $10 a month.
10 a month. Okay.
Yeah, and it's honestly, Chris and I are very similar in the way that we do our stuff. Like we have the spreadsheet that kind of is just for our own purposes. GoDaddy is really simple, pulls in all your transactions, and you can get a quick glance at what your profit is per month or how your sales are trending. So give it a look. $9.99 a month, really easy to use. So yeah, there's a lot of other great ones out there as well. Kathy asks this, please talk about promoting on eBay. Is this done one time or is it a repeated thing? Kathy, I would say that you can set it up, to like go in cycles. You can set up, if you want to do like a 3-day trial, you can set it up to be continuous. It's really based on how you want to do it. I usually will go once a month, I'll go in and promote, and then the next month I'll redo it. And maybe at that point I want to change some things. So it's just kind of a way for me to remember that, do I want to continue going with the same percentage or do I want to try another strategy? So yeah, that's kind of what I would say on that. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and there's not one right way. So just remember that anything Chris and I share is just kind of what works for us, and it may be different for you. But yeah, if you're looking into promoting, I would definitely suggest it. It can really boost your sales, and you don't have to start off with a huge percentage. You can just kind of get your feet wet, 1 or 2% per item, see how you like it, and then kind of get an idea for fees, and then from there adjust based on what you think. So if you have any other questions, please let us know. We'll go to this next one. Denise, what do you use in the thrift store to determine value if you don't know? Chris, I'll let you take that one.
eBay mobile app. I have the eBay mobile app fired up at all times, ready to go to check out stuff. Most of the things I'm picking up at this point, like I'm not really looking them up that often, but I try to make it a habit to look up 2 or 3 new brands when I'm at the thrift store every single time. That's just something I do. Like I'm like, all right, I need to look some stuff up. But really, I turn and burn. At this point, I've built up a lot of knowledge of the clothing section. So a lot of stuff, if I'm like, I don't know that brand, I'm just going to pass on it and move on to something that I know. But I do try to slow myself down 2 or 3 times a trip on purpose to look up a brand that I've never looked up before. It's the eBay app. I'm looking up recent sold comps, and I'm looking at how many are currently listed in like the ratio between currently listed and how many have sold over the past 90 days. I'm looking at that ratio, and I'm looking at sold prices to see if it's a worthwhile purchase.
Yeah, great answer.
And people ask me all the time, like, hey, Chris, like, how do you be discreet about it? And my answer is, I'm not discreet about it. There's nobody that works at the thrift store or runs the thrift store or manages the thrift store that is concerned at all about you looking up the value of items on your phone because you're reselling them. In fact, a lot of people who aren't resellers are in the store doing the same thing to try to determine the value of things that they're looking at that they might buy to take home. So,
yep. Ryan asked this. Welcome back, Ryan. Do you wash the clothes you buy? No, heck no. That would take quite some time. Only if it really, really needs it. If there's a chance I can get a stain out that would bring the value up significantly, I'll spend some more time on it. Or if it's really smelly, other than that, I don't wash. Just simply, I kind of leave it up to the buyer to wash it when they get it. So that's my philosophy. Kelson, does eBay charge a fee for promoting items? Yes,
cool.
Yes, they do.
Let me attack that one because there could be in Kelson. I'm not sure. There's two things on eBay that pertain to promotions. So I'll talk about both of them. So first, there's promoted listings, which you can pay a certain amount. You pay a certain amount of the sales price in order for your item to show up higher in searches. So that's one version of promotions on eBay. The second are sales, and they often refer to that as promotions on eBay too. It's kind of confusing when you're in the sales dashboard. And that's running a sale saying like, okay, all my items, I'm going to run 10% off for the next 30 days. Like any store would run a 10% or 15% or 20% off. The latter, the sales are free. Like it's just you crossing out prices and lowering them. And you can bulk edit you can run big sales and you can add 300, 400, 500, 1,000 items to that and put them on sale. That's free. If you're going to promote listings, that's going to cost money. The good news is you determine how much that you're going to promote and how much you'll pay if that item sells when someone clicks on your promoted listing. So I think the cheapest you can do is 1%. eBay doesn't allow you to do anything lower than 1%, but I don't know what the highest is. It must be really high. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll maybe throw that to Jason in a second, but I'll finish my thought. If you put it up, if say you promote something at 1% to get it to show up higher in listings, that item sells for $25, then you're going to pay eBay 1% of that $25, which is 25 cents. If the person clicked on the promoted listing. If they didn't click on the promoted listing and they clicked on the, the regular listing that was not promoted, which does happen, you do not have to pay the 25 cents, only if they click the promoted thing. But if you crank that up to, let's say 10%, then all of a sudden you're paying $2.50 when you sell that $25 item. So I hope that answers the question there. Sales are free. Promotions, you basically set what you're going to pay.
Yeah, I got another one. We'll take this one, then Chris, we'll go to you on what you want to talk about tonight. But Laura asked, when you look up comps on eBay, what does it mean when the price has a line through it? This is a great question because I've never gotten this before in all the questions I get on TikTok and YouTube compared to other comps with the regular sale price. So a lot of times when a best offer is accepted by a seller or a buyer, it's basically saying, okay, I guess I could take this two ways. You could be meaning if it's an item, oh, you're saying comps. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So if it's sold and it's in comps and it's got a line through it, that means a best offer is accepted. And without other software, there's no way to know how much that sold for. So it could say $200, have a line through it, and you just know that it sold for less than 200. And what you can do to kind of guess on that is you can filter all those results by price high to low or low to high, and it will sort that price in to the results. So if there was one that sold for 210 and another for 180, it may be in the middle. You don't know what it is, but you know it's in that range. So that's kind of a way that you can do that to figure out sold comps, but just means an offer was accepted. So great question, Laura. Thanks so much. We want to go to something that is really pertinent right now because it is the end of Q4 just a couple of weeks ago, and Chris is going to tell us about eBay's quarterly coupon. So Chris, take it away.
Right on. Yeah. So it's Q1, January. So what that means is the quarterly coupon has come out from eBay. So if you have a store, you might have a coupon code on your account right now. But you do need a store subscription in order to get this coupon, and it comes every quarter. And it doesn't come with the first level of store subscription. So the first level of store subscription is the starter store. And I believe that's $4.95 or $5.95 a month. you do not get a coupon for that one. If you have the next level, which is a basic store, which I think is, I want to say $15 a month. If you have a basic store, every quarter you get a $25 coupon code, and it's specifically to use on eBay shipping supplies. eBay has their own branded shipping supplies. They have their own username on eBay, right, where they sell all those items to. That's the word, username or store. So you have that coupon. If you have at least a basic store, then you have a coupon code on your account. And if you're like wondering how the heck do I find that, I'm not going to go through the tutorial of how to do it right now. Just Google how do I find my eBay coupon code, and your first result will walk you through step by step of how to find it and how to use it. If you have a store that's bigger than basic, then you have a $50 coupon to use for eBay shipping supplies. So I was going to show you a couple, because I'm going to be shopping. I'm going to use my coupon for some shipping supplies probably in the next couple of days here. So I'm going to show you a couple of the items that I typically will purchase. Jason, if you wouldn't mind sharing my screen.
Yeah, go for it. You got it. So
first up is these, this is, you call air jackets or bubble mailers. I like these 9.5 by 13.5. There's all different sizes, but this is a good one that I use pretty regularly. And you can see here, it's 8. You can get different packs of them. And you can choose the size and all that. So this is one common thing I get, is these bubble mailers. It's good for like small items. I actually ship a lot of sports cards in them. That's a big part of my business now. But little small odds and ends, I'll often use that. There's different sizes. That's one of the more common sizes. I keep a whole stack of them. Where are they? They're back there. Let me go on to the next one. This is a really common box that I use. Most of the boxes I'm using are either USPS priority boxes, which are free from USPS.com. So if anything's going priority, I'm using those free priority boxes. Why not? Why would I buy boxes if I get them for free? But if something's going to go first class, or if it's going to go FedEx, I'm going to need to have my own box. I can't use the free USPS boxes. This is a good, I like the eBay branded boxes. They're actually pretty strong. And they're actually pretty lightweight. You want lightweight, strong boxes. That's great, because you want it strong so your stuff doesn't get broken, obviously. You want it lightweight so it doesn't increase your shipping cost. So this box here, 8 by 6 by 4, is nice for small hats. It's nice in the event that you have like a mug or a glass that's under a pound. This is a nice thing. And just like small things. Actually, I use these for like high-end sports cards too. Like if it's a big sale price, $600-700 sports card, I'm going to put it in a padded bubble mailer, and I'm going to put it in a box too. I might put it in a bag on top of that for expensive things. So that's a nice handy box. This is one of the ones that you can consider getting. There's a variety of different sizes. A hat like this wonderful thrifter sifter hat that I got this week would fit good in a 10 by 8 by, or a 10 by 8 by 6 would be a good box for like a high crown trucker hat like this. It won't quite fit in an 8 by 6 by 4, but a smaller hat will fit great in that. Another thing I'll show off is thank you cards. I include handwritten thank you cards in all of my orders. On the little screen right here, you can see one sitting right here. I buy these. I usually buy them by a couple hundred of them at a time. You can see here 100, 200, 400. So I'll probably order 200 more of these. How much is 400? Oh, I'll probably get 400 of them for $33. I got a $50 coupon, so that'll take up most of it. I only have about 140 of them left, so that'll get me through a few more months. Another thing is tape. I have a whole bunch of eBay tape stacked up there. You can buy them in 6 or 12 rolls, I think. Again, there you go. People always ask me, like, where do you get that eBay tape? eBay shipping supplies. Here's the screen name right there in the top corner. And yeah, those are a handful of things that I purchase on the regular. Another thing I like that I didn't bring up here, maybe I should, is I really like, they have these, I'll show you on my screen. I don't have the listing up, but Jason, if you can put me back to just regular me.
Yeah.
I love these repurposed for the planet, like recycled packaging stickers. What I like about them is they can cover up like other labels on boxes, because you don't want to like have a FedEx label when you're shipping USPS. You don't want to have like other shipping labels that they could scan accidentally on there. So I like covering up, box flaws or other like, previous, what do you call it? Like labels on there. So you can order these recycled, repurposed for the planet, or I use recycled packaging. When you're using recycled boxes, slap those over, especially if there's like writing or just blemishes on the box, I'll throw those over. And, a lot of people who are buying, especially if you're like Jason and I, and you sell a lot of used shoes and used clothing, those people like the fact that you're using recycled boxes and stuff, because that's probably part of the reason they're buying the used clothing. They're thinking about the sustainability. They're thinking about limiting waste, and limiting production of things, like avoiding fast fashion and all that stuff. So your buyers I know my buyers probably by and large really like seeing those labels on those boxes.
Yeah, that's a very good point about sustainability. We do have one more question, and then I think we'll get into our flipping game for the evening. But Karen asks, what happens when you do not accept a return? It gets escalated to eBay. How do I know the resolution? Buyer says I sold a fake item. Well, what's going to happen is eBay is kind of leaving it up to you and the buyer to sort this out. eBay doesn't want to get in the middle. They want you to handle it. They want you to come to some kind of resolution with the buyer and save them time. So if for some reason you can't work it out with the buyer, then it gets escalated to eBay, which it sounds like you may be in the middle of all this. eBay is going to make a decision to the best of their ability. A lot of times they side with the buyer just because they want to make sure and protect the buyer. They will look at things like dings on accounts. They'll look at performance levels. So if you're a seller, it's really important that you have great metrics, because eBay will look to see, is this a trusted seller? Is this a seller who has a lot of negative feedbacks? They're going to look at the buyer as well and see, if they have any like dings on their account from other things. So it's basically just they make their decision and they say, we've chosen to side with this, this person, you are the buyer. And then it's just kind of, it is what it is. So if they side with the buyer on that and say, you sold them a fake thing and they require you to give them a refund, it stinks, but it's just what happens. And you just kind of chalk it up as a loss on eBay, which happens from time to time. And it's not a fun thing, but unfortunately does happen. What I will do, and I'll just say this real quick. If someone has an issue with an item that they've purchased from me, and let's say they get it and it's not like they thought it was, meaning they didn't just change their mind or the item doesn't fit. It's completely different than what they're saying I sold them. A lot of times I will say, look, I take returns. You're welcome to return it. I will give you a full refund when I get it back. This will sort out a lot of potential scammers. This will sort out people who may be just kind of bending the truth a little bit to get a refund, partial refund. I always have them send it back. And if they don't send it back, I don't give a refund. The only time I would give a refund is if there was a flaw and, they had proof pictures and I could see that, and maybe the item wasn't worth that much. So it's just like better to just go ahead and deal with it. But that's kind of how you can handle it. And I hope it turns out for you, Karen. I hope that it's not something where eBay just sides with the buyer and kind of leaves you in the dust. But if you join us on another show, let us know how that goes so we can follow along with you on that.
It's definitely not the fun part of running an eBay business, but it is a part of running the eBay business. And I'll add just one thing to it. Just be really nice to your customers. Remember, they're not eBay's customers. They're your customers. They pay you. So treat it like it's your business. eBay doesn't want to get in the middle of it unless they have to, and they will if they have to. And they have their own bylaws and all that stuff, terms of service. But yeah, it's your business. It's an important part of your business. And the other thing I'll say is always be super nice with your customers. It's not it's not like a blame game. You don't want to get in arguments with people, because eBay is going to look through those messages. And if they see one side is mean and mean-spirited and disrespectful, and the other side is just being above board and being really nice and giving good customer service, it's more likely that they're going to side with the person who's being really nice. So even if people can be nasty on eBay sometimes, most buyers are awesome. I love them. I love eBay. I love my buyers. Yeah. But sometimes people get nasty. Don't lower to their level. Just be super nice, as if you were standing in front of them and they're at your brick and mortar store.
That's a really good point, Chris. I always start off apologizing, even if I think they might potentially be, even if I think in any case it could be a scammer, which most people aren't. So I'm not going to say that's a thing. I always apologize first. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, and then I state my case, or I, try and work with them. So really good point there. I said last question, but let's go to this one. Juan asks, who are some of your favorite YouTubers? This is a really good question because this is the way that we learn, right? This is the way we get experience in what we're doing. Chris, I'll let you kick it off, and I'll contribute a few in there as well.
I'll hit two. I'll hit three. So Ready, Set, Resell. Ben crushes it. He does a ton of clothes, but he does a little bit of everything too. Guy really knows his stuff. His videos are chock full of knowledge. It's not so chock full of like fun and flowers and butterflies. He's like giving you knowledge. He's telling you what he sold, why it sold for that much. He crushes. I learned a ton from him. Number two would be Hustle at Home Mom. She crushes it, especially women's clothing, which I know very little about and only kind of nibble around the edges. Check out Hustle at Home Mom on YouTube. She totally crushes it, runs a great business. And the other is, I'm trying to remember his name. I'll let you go, Jason. I'm going to remember this. Ronnie. I'll remember his name in a second. I'll let you go first.
Are you talking about Lonnie?
Not Lonnie, although Lonnie's awesome. Oh, Ronnie Hart from Heart Pickers, HART. He's somebody I've been watching. I've watched him for a long time, but I've been watching him some more recently because I've been playing with sport coats and suits. And boy, that fella knows his stuff. And he's just like a cool, down to earth guy. I really like watching Hart Flippers. Ronnie Hart. He's based in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Can you all hear me? Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, I think you paused for about 10 seconds there, but it looks like you're back and you look good.
Yeah, I can hear you. All right. Yeah, those are all good ones. I don't know that last guy, Ronnie, but one I would add is Rally Roots. I probably watched them more than anyone else starting off, just because I was looking at similar stuff that they were buying. So I got a lot of brand knowledge from them. Probably watched 80% of all the people I follow. I probably spent 80% of my time on their channel. So that was kind of like a list and watch type deal.
And I'm going to be cheesy here, but it's true. I still watch a lot of Jason Hayes, the real Jason Hayes right here. Yours truly. I actually binge watched like 4 episodes just last week. And I actually picked up like a bunch of tips of like, oh, wow, I wasn't picking up that brand, or, oh, I didn't realize that. So even though Jason and I talk all the time, at least every Thursday, but way more often than that, I mean, this guy's got so much knowledge and he's learning all the time. So even if I watched a ton of his stuff a year ago, he's got all this new, fresh knowledge because he's always learning. So, I mean, check out Jason. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I watch his stuff too.
I like him too. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many great YouTubers out there. I mean, there's so much that you can find. So, I mean, there's just a lot of, the reselling community is awesome. And I know Chris can say this as well. It's just fun to be a part of this group. And so thanks for that question, Juan. But let's go ahead and move on to our flipping game of the night, because this is, a fun time for us when we get to show off items that sold and see who wins the week. So tell us about this game, Chris, and let's get going.
So let's play a flipping game, y'all. So we got 5 questions coming your way. Jason and I are answering those questions based on the last 7 days. It's Jason versus Chris. There's one winner. Like I said early in the program, Jason is your defending champion. He is 1-0 in 2021. Over history, it's 3-1. This guy over that guy. So, and let's take a look at what was last week's. I had the scoreboard. Here it is. Scoreboard from last week. Jason with the shoes 3 to Chris with the shirts 2. It was a hard-fought battle. We're going to need all of you for question number 5, and question number 5 usually determines the winner. It's usually the tiebreaker, and we're going to show you our favorite picks from the week, and we're going to need the audience to vote on who wins question number 5. So all that being said, are you ready for this game, Jason?
I am ready, and it's the first week. I have to live this up. I am the defending champion.
Well, you got a few more minutes. Enjoy it. Let's kick off with question number 1. biggest sale of the week, the highest dollar amount sale, including shipping from this week.
All right, I'm going to kick it off right here with my biggest sale, and it is, can you see these?
Boom. Nice. Yeah, I see
Merrill Bell Glove trail running shoes, new in the box. I've been sitting on these for a while, so I kind of got tired of them, and I was just ready to entertain an offer. So I had an offer come in at $45 plus 10 shipping, and I took it. So $55 on these shoes right here, and that's my biggest sale of the week.
Nice one. Is that retail arbitrage or is that a thrift find?
That is retail arbitrage. Yeah, I can't remember the site, but pulled off a bunch of stuff there.
That's all right. Nobody talks about retail arbitrage.
That's right.
Rule number one of retail arbitrage. You don't talk about retail arbitrage. So I'm ready with my number one sale of the week. Boom, there he is. My man, Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. This is his Prism rookie card, and this is the silver refractor. So the silver refractor Prism is one of the most sought after cards in the hobby. This is kind of what everybody's looking for. I had his rookie card. It sold for a best offer. It was listed for $225, best offer of $223 plus $5 shipping. It turned out that the buyer, who's also in Florida, who I did a little research, and it looks like he owns a card shop in Southeast Florida. He sent me a message and said he sent the offer because he was driving to the store or driving to the bank to deposit the money so that he could pay. So that's why he did the offer instead of just like buying it at $225. Because if he bought it at $225, he would have had to pay immediately, but he didn't have the money in the account yet. Interesting story, I thought. But anyway, awesome sale, $223 plus $5 shipping. So $228 all in for that card. I paid $40 for it back in October as part of a $300 lot of a bunch of Jaylen Brown rookie cards.
I have a feeling those cards are going to be coming, back in the weeks to come on these rounds because you've been stocking up on those, and that's paid off big time for you.
It's starting to. Basketball's back. The cards are white hot. I had some good luck. I made some smart investments based on research and got lucky with some of these. I believe in Jaylen. I think he's awesome. He's having a career year.
Yeah, he is a quality player.
He's crushing it right now.
All right, what's our next round? What are we going to?
Let's go biggest profit. So your biggest profit after shipping and fees for one item.
All right, here we go. I'm going to kick it off with this vintage piece. I love this brand. Vintage Pendleton wool jacket. It was a men's medium, so it was on the smaller end, but I sold this all in $55 with shipping. This would have been something that I paid a few bucks for at the thrift store, like $4 to $5. My profit on it ended up being $40.63. So $40.63 was my biggest profit of the week.
Beautiful shirt. Great flip, my friend. So I'm ready with mine when you are.
All right, let's see it.
Hey, remember this guy? My man, Jaylen. This is a lot of two of the the Panini Selects. I was calling it the Prism on the last one. They were not Prisms. That last one I sold, that was a Select, but it was a silver Prism. I'm sorry, that was a foot and mouth moment. This is that same card, but it's not the silver refractor. I sold two of them. One of them had some surface scratches on it. That's why I put asterisk read in there. It sold for a best offer of $77 plus 13 shipping. You're like, why was it 13 shipping? It shipped direct to Canada. So I do ship items. Most of my items are available to ship direct to Canada. So I use the global shipping program, but I also offer Canadian buyers direct shipping. And it's usually between $13 and $18 that I charge for that. So all in, the buyer paid $91. After shipping and fees, I profited $54 on these two cards.
Wow. Big one right there, up 2-0.
Shirts 2, shoes nothing. Moving on to round 3. This is a fan favorite right here, the fastest sale. Everyone loves fast sales. What was your fastest sale of the past 7 days, Jason?
I'm feeling really good about this one, Chris, and I'm gonna lead off with this right here. This guy's Brooks Brothers 346 dress shirt. You can see the size 2XL. And this, I think, has to be a record for me. No, actually, last week's was. But it sold the same day, 9 hours and 43 minutes on this guy right here. Took a best offer of $29 with shipping. So that was a great one. 9 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah, man, that's an awesome flip. Brooks Brothers is usually sort of a slowish or medium
Chris?
seller. I'm here. I think we lost you. But I see you now, and you look good.
Sorry, we're having. All right, let's do it.
So my fastest sale was this Nat Nast shirt. I paid $4 for it. It sold in 16 hours and 41 minutes for a best offer of $13 plus $5 shipping. You took that round. So that's shirts 2, shoes 1. So another tight battle. This is going to come down to question number 5. I have a feeling. Round 4. Question number 4. This is my favorite category, the slowest sale. I love unloading old items that have just been sitting around back here on them shelves. Jason, what
Well,
was
I alluded to it earlier. I've been relisting stuff. And this was one of the benefactors of that. Just happened to sell these. I picked these up and listed them on, I didn't write down the date, but see if the custom SKU is in there. I don't think it mattered. I think it was January 18th of 2019. So I've had these a total of almost 2 years, 725 days on these shoes right here. And I got a full price of $33.32.
No way. Do you remember how much you paid for them? I know it's been a long time.
For something like that, it would have been like $4 to $8. I don't think I would have paid more than $8 for those.
That is
so it would have been about.
Why do you think those took so long?
I think I don't have them up anymore, but I think they were size 6, and that's on the lower end for women. And yeah, so lesson learned. I don't really pick up size 6 anymore. 7, I think, is the lowest I would go.
I would agree on that. I've learned that lesson. I have a couple of small women's shoes sitting in my inventory as we speak right now. Maybe you'll see them in a future game. Here is my slowest sale of the week. It is actually my slowest sale of all time. This I listed, this I purchased on September the 29th, 2018. This was one of my very first thrift trips. Like, I had my first thrift trip, I believe, was late July with you, Jason, 2018. So this was 832 days. And here's the crazy thing. This was not my only item that sold that was over 800 days old in my inventory this week. I sold another item, a vintage North Face shirt that I picked up in October of 2018. And that sold this week too. Crazy getting rid of some olds. And I had like 2 others that were like 600 plus days. So I was like dumping old inventory. It's great. So I accepted an offer of $15.53 plus $5 shipping to get rid of this thing. Charles Tirrett is how you pronounce it. I looked it up before the show.
I've always wondered how you pronounce that last name.
Charles Tirrett is how you pronounce it. It's a British company, the shirt company that opened in 1986. If you were interested in that little trivia. But yeah, 832 days. I no longer pick this brand up. I picked it up for a little while, and I actually did pretty well with it early on, but now it just sells for low dollars and really slow. I might pick it up if it was like $1 or $2 and had French cuffs. I think, and maybe a better size. I don't even know if I'd get the French cuffs if it was 1533. It might have to be something like a size 17 or 18, a larger size with French cuffs. I might pick it up for like $2 or $3.
Yeah. Do you remember where you got that? Was that a Mile High?
I can answer that question. I'm sure it was. That would be my guess. But if you give me 2 seconds, I can answer that question for certain. Charles Tirrett picked it up on 9/29/18. I didn't note where it was, but I'm almost certain I picked that up at Mile High Thrift in Denver, Colorado.
And I'm curious, because you said you sold 2 items older around that age. Did you do something different, or was it just luck that those sold this week?
No, I think, actually, now that I look at it, I put about 308 items on sale in my store. It was kind of a pseudo sale. I jacked up the price and then put on a sale. So you can see in actually the listing out there.
And 50% off.
Yeah, you can look at it. If you put that listing back up, you can see real quick how it says sold for $15.53, but it was it had the 10% off right below with the line through it. So it was on sale for 10% off. Maybe that had something to do with it. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, and Laura, just really quick intermission here. Mile High Thrift is amazing. High prices, but you'll get really good stuff there. A lot of new with tags. Make sure when you go in, you look at what colors are like half price, and they have a 75% off. That was my place that I went almost every week there. Great store. So hit it up if you're in Denver.
Absolutely. I remember old days where I'd have like 16, 18 pairs of shoes in the cart, and that was the first aisle that I'd hit would be the shoes, and I'd just be like, my cart's full, and I just got here,
Yeah, there were a couple of times I had to go right to the checkout because I had a full cart of shoes. I mean, it's an amazing place for shoes. So
Jason used to go fill up a cart, go check out, bring the stuff to his car, go back in, get a new cart, and then keep on shopping.
That's no joke. I would do that 3 times, or I'd do it twice. I would make 3 trips through the line. I would fill up the cart 3 times. So it's quite the place if you're willing to spend some money there. You just have to wait for the good deals. So
I think the time that I went with you, you dropped like $700 on thrifted stuff. And I was like, that's crazy. I dropped like $70. And I was like, how does this guy, this is crazy. But I mean, your knowledge is just ridiculous. And
I would go there and buy, no joke, I think the most I ever bought was like 150 items in one day, 4 hours. I'd spend like $1,500 to $2,000, and I would be listing that the rest of the week. So, I mean, that would be my trip for the whole week, if not more. So, I mean, it was so reliable. So, Laura, go check it out. If you guys are in Denver, hit up Mile High Thrift. There's one in the north and one in the south. So, great spot. And they're both good.
I like the one in the south better, just saying.
Yeah, it is good. Let's go ahead and move on to the last round. Chris has got this game, but I'm going to try and make up some ground here. Coolest find of the week.
So this is viewer participation. You're going to vote on this. We're going to show you our coolest finds of the week, and you get to just judge who do you think had the cooler find. So if you think Chris had the cooler find, you can go ahead and put a C in the chat. Not yet. Wait till we show it to you. And then if you think Jason had the best find, you can put a J. There's no stipulations on this. You decide what is the best find. It could be your favorite brand. It could be something that brings back some nostalgia. You decide what is the best. It doesn't have to be based on money or anything like that. That being said, Jason, show us your coolest find of the week.
Let me show you the back of it right here. It's a clock, and I saw this sit on a shelf. I paid $5 for it, but it's not just any clock. It is a Homer Simpson talking clock.
Come on now. It talks?
Well, Chris, you weren't supposed to ask that question. I bought it not knowing if it worked. I mean, you can see it. Well, I took the batteries out, but I know it works. It tells time, but it did talk when I got it home. It said I was actually just around here and it started talking. I was like, what is that? And then I realized it was this clock. It's supposed to go off every time at the top of the hour, but it hasn't been. So it's a partially defective, but still cool piece. Homer Simpson, sorry, the glare. Homer Simpson clock there.
That thing's cool, man.
Yeah, and so that clock sells for, there was one that went for $28 with shipping. There was another one that went for $40. Brand new, I think it's around that $50 range. So I'm probably going to try and get $30 out of it, since I don't really know if it does work as far as, I don't know if someone would want a clock that says something every hour from Homer Simpson. They may just want it because it's got Homer on the face. So
that's true. They might like it better if it doesn't talk all the time. Yeah. All right, man. Well, that's a cool find, man. I can't wait to see when that thing sells.
I know. I got it drafted up, ready to go.
All right, ready for mine? I think you're going to like this thing.
I'm ready.
Let's super psyched
about it here.
Boom.
No way, dude. That's awesome.
New York Knickerbockers.
Pro player?
Vintage pro player.
Wowzers. New York Knicks. That is, look at that color. Beautiful.
So that's the front, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the back here. Wow. That's even better than imagined. Here, I got to get you on full screen with that one.
So check out that. That's that pro player logo, which definitely tells you that thing's vintage. And also, it's worth checking out the inside. Look at that inside with that all over NBA logo, the Jerry West all over it. Pro player. This thing is flawless. Even though the white, we always worry about the stains on the white. I mean, this thing is pristine. It is so cool. I mean, the Knicks, suck. But this jacket in these colors is awesome. And New York is obviously, the biggest market. It's a historic team. I haven't comped it out, actually. I just picked it up yesterday and haven't gotten around to doing anything with it yet. I haven't photoed it yet. But
I mean,
tag,
I know I'm putting you on the spot, but off the top of your head, what would you say if you had to list that right now without looking at comps? What would you list that at?
Oh, I don't even know. I paid $10, but it was priced $10, but it was half off day at the Salvation Army. I paid $5 for that thing, and it is pristine. My guess, let me see, it's a size large. I don't know. I'd be thinking 79 is kind of coming to mind, but it's in such perfect condition too. I don't know.
Yeah, people look at comps. I'm thinking around the $100 range. I've sold a couple of those pro players, but New York, it doesn't matter what year how good they are. You're always going to find a New York Knicks fan.
I saw a question in the chat from Mr. Colts Comics himself, Jeremy. What year is it? I don't know if it gives me a year. It's made in Korea, if you're interested.
I mean, that looks like mid 90s, 95. I remember having an Orlando Magic jacket like that. I mean, not the exact same, but I think it was a pro player.
Dang. Yeah, I'm psyched about this. That's cool. I would put it on, but A, it's Florida, and B, I ain't putting on Knicks gear. I'm selling that thing. Get that out of the house.
He's from Boston, everyone.
That's right. Boston. Celtics, bruh.
All right. Well, you know the drill. Jay in the chat, if you think the Simpsons clock is the coolest, or C, if you think that New York Knicks pro player vintage fire drill is the best.
We need your votes, so let's get those votes going. J for Jason, C for Chris.
Ryan says, if you find a Hornets starter, I will buy Hornets. I mean, that like 90s was primetime Hornets time.
I know exactly what one Ryan's talking about too. He's talking about that one. It's the pullover with the kangaroo pocket on the front, like the Velcro pocket. It's with the big hornet on it. That's like Larry Johnson.
I'm going to say this against the Bulls, but for some reason the Hornets just brings like strong, great, positive emotions for me of my childhood because the Hornets were just a great team.
Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson.
Yeah. All right, Chris, I think you got this one on the last round. I'm seeing a bunch of C's. I saw a few J's in there, but I don't think I'm going to catch you. So I think you got me.
Cool. I thought I might have had you there. You did mention earlier in the week that you had a really cool find, so I was nervous. I didn't have anything really cool, and that's one of the last items I pulled out of Salvo yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is going into the game.
Yeah, that's crazy, because if you'd have told me that I was going to lose the slowest sale and the coolest find, I thought I had the last 3 rounds wrapped up. I was going to come from behind, down 0-2, and I end up losing 4-1, 1-4. So good game. I got to give it to you. That was a strong one from you right there.
Hey, man, I showed up in the gym with the Knicks, like the 90s Knicks and Jaylen Brown, 3 versions of Jaylen Brown. So it's kind of tough. And a Charles Currett from founded in 1986.
Yeah, that was beautiful. All right, well, guys, thanks for watching. This brings us to our question of the night, which is the final part of the show before we let you go. We want to hear from you, as well as we'll answer this while we're reading your answers. So here's the question of the night. We all got started. I'm guessing most of you watching have already started. What was one of the first items you sold that hooked you into reselling on eBay? That item that you said, wow, this worked. I got to start looking for stuff now to flip. So, Chris, I'll put you on the spot again tonight. Do you remember that it doesn't have to be the very first, but one of those first few items where you're like, wow, this worked. I'm going to keep doing this.
Shoot, I don't know. I mean, I showed you a couple of the first ones that I picked up that took over 2 years to sell. But I would say I remember snagging and it actually still hasn't sold, but I'll always remember snagging this. You might actually remember, I think you were with me. I picked up this Roush blue, like 1990s ski jacket. I still have it.
Yeah, dude, I remember that. I was with you on that one.
I'm going to put it up on the screen if that's okay. Just give me a second. I'll dial it up. It's totally worth it. And I found this thing and I was like, that's, even though it hasn't sold, I'm like, that's why like I want to resell to find stuff like that. You can go ahead and share my screen. I got this bad boy pulled up. Check out this thing.
I'm going to go full screen on that. Yeah, I remember where we were, the store, and I remember the location where we were discussing, should we pick this up or should you pick this up or not?
Check this out. It literally has an Aspen ski ticket on it from 3/23/93 still on it from Aspen. Look at that on the ring. Like,
Yeah, you have that. You definitely got to have that in the listing. This is at least 93 and older.
these aren't the best photos in the world, but this is my early work. But yeah, anyway, this thing is super cool. I haven't skied in it yet. I should ski in it. Look at that thing. I mean, it is just that is just amazing. If you're interested, it's $39.33 plus $9.99 shipping. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will give you a discount on this jacket.
I know off of eBay, and you can get $5 off. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll give someone a really good deal on it. It is a sweet jacket. I really like it. I think it's cool. I'm surprised it hasn't gone, but Roush isn't like a really big name. I think that's part of it. This thing,
the design and the color.
if it was Columbia, it probably would have sold 6 times by now. But this is cooler than a lot of those vintage Columbia.
But the thing about that is ski gear, because this last ski winter season was on hold at mountains. They were shut down for the coronavirus. People weren't buying ski gear because they weren't skiing. And so I think this year, you have a chance they could sell because mountains are open, people are skiing, trips are being had. So we'll see if that thing goes.
I hope it does, as much as I love it.
Well, I'll answer this question. One of the first things I sold, my wife and I were this is how I got started. I'd sold some items on eBay, but as far as like getting into the reselling, more of a hustle, we were on our anniversary trip. We were in a small Colorado mountain town. We ducked into like a thrift store because we just love them so much. And I found a pair of cool pants. I found 2 pairs of pants for $8 or $10 each. And I was like, I was going to get them for myself. I didn't know if I liked them or not. And I thought, you know what? I'll take them home. If I don't like them, I'll just sell them on eBay. And I ended up not liking them as much. So I sold them and they went for like $35 each. And that kind of hooked me into, wow, I just paid $8 or $10, got 35. Now it kind of just switched gears into, I'm going to start going to look for stuff around Colorado, see if I can find to flip for profit. So cool pants was probably my first 2 or 3 flips, because I picked up several of those pairs and that was a great flip.
You love that cool stuff too.
I love that cool brand.
So we got some really awesome comments here in the chat. I see, let's see, Kelson, Xbox 360 NCAA football 14. That's a classic like reseller grail item. Everyone's always looking out for that, because those NCAA like 2009 is worth like nothing. That's like $6, right? But that 14, it was the last year that they had the license with like college players could actually appear in the game, like the actual players' names and stuff. So that's sought after. The 13 is actually worth a few bucks too, but the 14 is the grail one. I've never found it. I always take a peek for it.
And speaking of video games, Jeremy, Colts Comics, said I had a video game, decided to sell it, was done playing it, and it hooked me to make money back from an item that would normally sit on a shelf. It's usually how it starts. You find an item at home, you sell it, and you go, wow, that worked, and then off you go. Denise, I sold 2 vintage tubes of Yardley lipstick for $50 each. I have no idea. There's no even visual coming to my mind on that one. But $1 for both into $100. Wow.
There's a lot of money in that cosmetic stuff. I just don't know a lick about it.
Yeah. Here's Ryan, cracked screen, old iPhone, Apple. We will give you $0 sold on eBay for $250. Wow.
Anything Apple. It doesn't matter if it's broken, smashed. And empty boxes sell because people buy the empty boxes to then put the item that they're selling in that empty box because it increases the sales price, So even empty boxes, Apple.
I have sold plenty of those empty boxes, or even just like I think I sold a lot of the cubes that you plug into the wall. Mm-hmm. I sold you get a bunch of those every time you get a new phone. You get another one. And it's like you don't need them anymore. So I sold like 4 of those for like $20. I mean, you can get just little cheap stuff like that. Juan says a Hot Wheel for $180 I found in my mom's basement. Here's the question though: did you give the money to your mom?
Ooh. And at the red line, I don't know much about Hot Wheels, but I know enough that like you're supposed to look out for the red lines. I've never bought and sold Hot Wheels, but when garage sale season gets in full swing, I'll be looking and I'll be asking you questions, Juan.
Yeah, what's the I haven't heard of that. The Hot Wheels red line. Is that like is that on the package, or what am I looking for in that?
I think it's a red line on the wheels. I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know the answer. Juan might bail us out.
Yeah, Juan, if you know that, please let us know so we can start looking for that. 180, that's a good flip.
Here's my plan. Find Hot Wheels thing, send Juan message and say, is this worth money?
Daniel says, my first sale was a Nike pink long sleeve dry fit for 20. Not a great story. You know, we all get started somewhere. The important thing is it got you in. And now, you know, I know Daniel because he is a local full-time reseller. We just grabbed lunch recently, but he's in the reselling journey. So however it works, you're in now. Lion Creek Boutique. Old electronics after I upgraded my system. And Juan says, I did not give the money to my mom.
He's a hustler, man. He
didn't even know that it was down there. So, you know, he did all the work.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Well, this has been a fun show, Chris. Anything you want to say before we jump off here tonight?
No, man. Just want to say thanks. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. Thanks, everybody, there's a million things that you could have chosen to do this Thursday evening. I'm glad you chose to hang out with us just to talk reselling. And hopefully you enjoyed seeing some cool stuff like that old 1990s Aspen ski tickets. That was fun. That's what this is about. It brings a smile to my face just thinking about finding that thing. It's crazy that you still remember that too. But yeah, and I hope you like that Knicks jacket, the pink. What else do I got around here? This what's the word? This thing.
The puffer? No, the pogo stick. Pogo stick.
That's the word. Man, thrifting is fun. Like, you know, it's so thanks for hanging with us. I hope if you're not already out there just trying to find stuff to flip, that maybe it encourages you to do so. If you're already doing it, I hope you learned some stuff today from Jason or from some stuff to keep an eye out for. I know I learned some stuff tonight, like red line Hot Wheels, $180. It's crazy.
Red line Hot Wheels. Yeah, you and I both. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us, as Chris said, and we will be back next Thursday, same time. So if this is your first time, please come back and join us next week. We'd love to see you there, and we're seeing a growing community here. It's a lot of fun for us. So thanks for making our night fun, and we'll catch you next week. Peace out.
Take care.